Hi, I'm Jay Parmley, the Executive Director of the South Carolina Democratic Party, and welcome to this week's Parmley Report, news and information for South Carolina Democrats. Well, you didn't see me last week, and that's because we were at the spring meeting of the Democratic National Committee in New Orleans. So your DNC members from South Carolina spent several days in New Orleans in meetings talking about the 2026 elections. We also advanced our cause to remain an early primary state and remain first in the nation by having lots of conversations there around the meeting. That decision is still months away. At the earliest will be made in August, but in May we will make a formal presentation to the Rules and Bylaws Committee of the Democratic National Committee and ask them to remain an early state and remain first in the nation in 2028. And it kind of ties right into 2028. We have had a lot of visits from potential presidential candidates in 2028. This week is no exception. Vice President Kamala Harris joins us tonight, actually, as you see this, tonight in Greenville for a fundraising reception for the South Carolina Democratic Party. Tomorrow night she'll be in Columbia as part of her nationwide book tour. And so we're excited to have Vice President Harris in the Palmetto State this week. Look for more visits of other potential 2028ers coming to South Carolina soon. Well, this week, the legislature, they're sort of grinding their way to hopefully a mid-May adjournment. But I think the thing to be concerned about is the things that they're taking time doing. This week, the Medical Affairs Subcommittee of the Senate, they've heard continuing testimony as really MAGA Freedom Caucus Republican senators keep bringing these total abortion bills to the legislature. And so many people all across the state, they have really come out, they turned out, they testified, they've written their senators, their House members, they've talked to people. So I urge you again, take that time, call your state senator and let them know that this is really, enough's enough. We don't need a total abortion ban in South Carolina. This is simply taking time away from pressing issues before our state to talk about things that MAGA Republicans believe helps them in an election. But I've got news. 2026 is not your typical election year. And I really think South Carolinians are going to rise up and say, enough is enough. But thank you. I know so many of you have reached out to your legislators to speak out on these really important issues. And we'll keep you updated as the legislative session sort of comes to an end. Well, that's all for this week's Parmley Report. Remember, every election matters, every voice counts, and every vote makes a difference. We'll see you next week.